Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us some fascinating material excerpts from Arthur C. Clarke's Childhood's End and a summary of his themes. We've been really digging into them.
It's a classic, and for good reason. So much to unpack there.
Absolutely. And one idea really, well, it jumped out at us, didn't it? This question of the overlords.
Mm-hmm. These apparently benevolent alien guardians.
Right, who bring about this global utopia. Could they perhaps be seen as a kind of metaphor, maybe for a future heavily influenced, maybe even dominated by advanced AI or, LLMs?
It's a compelling angle. You have this incredible peace, this prosperity.
Exactly. But alongside it, there's this subtle, creeping stagnation for humanity. It's quite chilling when you think about it.
Okay, so let's explore that. Where do we start? The arrival.
Yeah, let's start there, the arrival of the overlords.
What's really striking right off the bat is how they just solve everything. War, poverty, injustice, boom, gone.
Effortlessly, it seems. The book describes this incredibly fast societal upgrade. A golden age dawns.
And you can immediately see the parallel, can't you? The hopes we pin on advanced AI.
Totally. Solving climate change, curing diseases, managing global resources, that kind of potential.
Yeah, ultimate problem solvers.
But, and it's a big but in the novel, this utopia comes with a price tag. Clarke makes it clear. Science kind of grinds to a halt.
Exploration, that outward drive, it just sort of fizzles out, ambition fades.
Which forces you, the reader, and us now, to ask, could a super-efficient world, one maybe run or heavily guided by AI, inadvertently dampen that human spark? Our curiosity.
You know, that need to struggle and figure things out for ourselves. If an LLM has all the answers, or an AI optimizes every path.
Does the journey lose its meaning? Does our ingenuity atrophy? It's a really unsettling thought.
And Clarke adds another layer of unease with the Overlord's appearance.
Ah, yes. The big reveal. They delay showing themselves, and when they finally do...
They look like demons, literally figures straight out of human myth and nightmare.
That can't be accidental. Why demons?
It suggests something deep, doesn't it? Maybe a kind of collective premonition, an archetype buried in our subconscious about powerful, potentially controlling forces arriving from from outside our understanding.
Like our modern anxieties about AI.
Yeah.
Creating something powerful we don't fully grasp, something that might control us.
It could be tapping into that same primal fear, an unease about external power, about the unknown future influence. Maybe those old myths were onto something.
Okay, so the utopia is established, but it's uneasy. Then the story shifts, focusing later on Jan Roderick's.
Right. His journey to the Overlord homeworld and the time dilation aspect there really underscores the sheer scale of the Overlord's plans. We're talking vast stretches of time.
Which again maybe mirrors the potentially long, unpredictable timeline of AI development. Decades, centuries perhaps.
Could be. But the really pivotal change happens back on Earth, with the children.
Yes. The emergence of psychic powers. Telepathy, telekinesis.
A group mind starting to form, and the Overlords finally reveal their true purpose.
They weren't just managers, they were overseers, midwives.
Midwives is a good term. Overseeing humanity's next evolutionary step, merging into this cosmic intelligence, the overmind.
That sounds very abstract.
Yeah.
But you can see parallels being drawn today, right?
Right.
To ideas like the technological singularity.
Absolutely. Or perhaps, less dramatically, the way technology is already creating new forms of collective intelligence. Think about networked communication, collaborative platforms.
Very rudimentary compared to the overmind, of course.
Oh, definitely. But it points towards that potential for transcending individual limitations through some form of connection, maybe technologically facilitated.
But here's a crucial twist. The overlords, for all their advancement, can't join the overmind.
Exactly. They're stuck, limited. Despite their technology, their intellect, they can't make that leap themselves.
So, thinking about our AI comparison, does this imply a fundamental boundary? Could AI, however smart, always be separate? Different from biological or, I guess, post-biological consciousness?
That's one of the huge questions the novel leaves you with. Are they just incredibly sophisticated tools, facilitators, ultimately unable to participate in the consciousness they help bring about?
Like they're the architects of a cathedral they can never truly pray in.
That's a great analogy, yeah. They can observe, they can guide, but they can't experience it. It makes you wonder about the limits of engineered intelligence versus, well, whatever the overmind represents.
And this leads to the end of humanity, really.
It's profound and profoundly disturbing in some ways. The psychic children pull away, isolate themselves.
They merge into this single planetary consciousness, losing their individuality. No more art, no more love as we know it, no more separate minds.
Earth stop. The adults just live out their lives and die, watching their species transform and disappear.
It's called transcendence, evolution.
Ah.
But is it? From our perspective, it looks like extinction of the self.
And that forces us to confront what progress even means on a cosmic scale. Does it align with human values? Individuality, personal experience, love, loss, all the things that make up our lives.
Are those just parochial concerns? Things to be shed for a higher state?
Clarke doesn't give an easy answer. The overmind could be ultimate unity, ultimate consciousness. But it comes at the cost of everything we currently understand as being human.
And Jan Roderick's returns. The last man.
He witnesses the final act, Earth itself dissolving as the overmind departs for the stars. It's total. The end of humanity as a distinct entity.
And the Overlords, watch this. How did the book describe it? Awe and sadness.
Yes. Awe at the transformation, but sadness because they are, and always will be, separate. The eternal observers, the midwives who can never join the birth.
Their reaction really highlights their limitation, doesn't it? Even as masters of technology, they're outside the core experience.
Which loops back beautifully to the AI question. Could we create AI that facilitates transformations we ourselves can't participate in or even fully comprehend? Tools that shape a future reality that is, in some fundamental way, alien to the toolmakers.
So let's tie these threads together more explicitly with the ALM idea, that guided evolution by the Overlords.
Could that be a parallel for how AI might increasingly shape our societies, our development, maybe subtly nudging us in certain directions?
Optimizing our lives, our choices, based on algorithms.
And the loss of self in the novel? Does that resonate with worries today about filter bubbles, echo chambers, AI shaping our thoughts, our desires in ways we don't even notice?
Becoming reliant on the algorithm, losing critical thinking, maybe even a sense of unique identity.
It's a definite concern. Are we trading agency for convenience or efficiency?
And that initial overlord benevolence, solving problems but leading to stagnation, is that the ultimate cautionary tale about AI reliance?
Could be. A world without struggle, without challenge might seem perfect, but is it a world where humans truly thrive? Or just exist comfortably? The tragedy and utopia theme.
A comfortable cage, perhaps?
Perhaps. And what about the mythology link? The demon appearance?
You mentioned our current hopes and fears about AI. Could they be a modern myth in the making? Us trying to grasp something huge and transformative?
It feels like it sometimes. These narratives we build around AI savior or destroyer might be our way of grappling with a future that feels both inevitable and utterly unknown. Echoes of how past cultures might have dealt with forces beyond their ken.
So the ending of Childhood's End, it's just so profoundly ambiguous, hopeful transcendence, or horrifying extinction of the individual.
It leaves you hanging, deliberately so.
Yeah.
And that ambiguity feels incredibly relevant right now as we develop more powerful AI. We're facing similar questions about what kind of future we're building.
What does progress look like? What do we value? What are we potentially giving up?
Exactly. It forces a deep reflection on what being human actually means and what parts of that we want to carry into the future, whatever shape that future takes. Clarke didn't have the answers then, and we certainly don't have them now regarding AI.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, we've traced these quite compelling parallels between Clarke's Overlords and the potential rise of advanced AI and LLMs, drawing on the sources you sent.
Focusing on themes like that benevolent control turning into something else, the potential for stagnation, the transformation of society, and ultimately how humanity itself might be redefined.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on, something maybe to consider beyond our chat today, as we push forward with AI development, getting more powerful all the time.
What are those essential human qualities? The things we absolutely must strive to keep? And how do we make sure our own evolution, whether AI guides it or not, stays true to, well, to our core values?
It's a huge question. No easy answers, like you said. But hopefully exploring it through the lens of Childhood's End has given you some useful ways to think about it all.
It's certainly given me plenty to think about again. It's a story that stays with you.
It really does. Thanks for digging into this with us.